Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. CS2 Back's online federal assault on Big U has completely destroyed whatever credibility he may have once had. But today, one of the many lies that were told and amplified at the No Jumper podcast is finally being laid to rest. Porky is letting the world know the Big U sending loose cannon, a cease and desist order, was all a lie. This video is going to show you just how far these sorry bastards will go to tear down someone's character.
And I still don't know what happened. I'm still confused about when they were sitting right here.
Right.
Because the shit Brick would say to him, and the shit he would say to him, and the shit he would tell me about what he was, that was very confusing. It was like...
So Luce was telling you stuff off camera, and then once you saw them face to face, you didn't have the same energy.
It was, but you know, me knowing what I know now, I see the play. Right? The infiltration game was going on.
What do you mean?
Let me get cool with Brick. Getting Flacco's here make Flacco think some other shit's going on with Wack.
Because he had told Flacco that you wanted to kill him.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Right.
You know, I'm coming to you. I'm like, bro, what's up with Flacco?
Yeah.
You looking
I didn't
at
know
me?
either until after it was all exposed.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm like, wait, when he said, yo, Wack, man, Luke, I said, he told you what? So I'm like, why would Luke tell? Like, and I sat back and like, okay, let me get cool with Brick. Because the shit he would say and about that, and probably vice versa. And then it was like he was in the building trying to make everything work in his favor. What backfired on him, let me tell you what backfired on him, is when he found out that Wack is a wolf.
You're a wolf or a sheep?
What kind of wolf?
When he found out I was a wolf, you know what happens? If you got a wolf and some sheep.
To protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf, you understand?
If that one sheep crosses the road, you know what the rest of the sheep gonna do?
Follow his ass.
You know what that wolf gonna do? He gonna sit there and he gonna maintain his position. He found out I was a wolf out here. When they started doing what they started doing, and Wack took 2 steps back, because I believe all of that was a plot twist to phase me out.
Knowing that he's now facing these charges, it does feel like that was like such a bad strategic
Bro,
play.
listen, why tell Flacco that? Flacco's part of this.
He should have been thankful for his relationship with you. He's already the enemy of so many people. He should have been holding on to that.
This is what's crazy. He can say what he want. They can say what they want. Without Wack sitting that man on the side of me and moving him around and going to do podcasts that I would never have done just to put the light on him.
A CS2 Back just admitted that without him, the world would have never even heard of Loose Cannon. And that all the lies, slander, and fabricated stories Luce told were only presented to the public because of him.
Hater world.
I would have never done that shit. I would have never. That shit was like 2.5 hours out.
Right.
I only went for him. I didn't go for me.
Did you make academics think that he was going to be interviewing you and Luce together?
Yes, that's the only way he would agree.
You did that on purpose?
I made Luce them get on the plane, and then, you know, I'm like, bro, just go ahead and make it happen. Because the only way because if he'd have told me no on this side, I couldn't send him.
A little switcheroo.
But what it is, I'm doing what I got to do to try to build him. And I ain't going to lie. It was a genuine, sincere part of me that like, I'm going to help him. It was a genuine, sincere part of me that like, I'm going to help him.
If they gave Porky $1 for every lie that he's told sitting in front of his master Aryan Adam, he'd be rich again. Now he's sitting in front of Adam, acting like him helping Luce was just a genuine move that he did out of the kindness of his heart. Porky said that to Adam today, But he said something completely different yesterday on Clubhouse.
Law 15, crush your enemy, totally. Law 37.
Notice that Porky read Law 15 and completely went away from Law 16.
Law 15, crush your enemy, totally. Law 37, he fell for the spectacles in form of a clubhouse stage and a podcast microphone. Did he forget what he said about me back in 2021, 2022? Because I sure didn't.
So it's like, Wack, it's like you do all this internet thugging and acting like you just so turned up, putting it on Paru this, Paru that. Nobody's seen you do nothing.
Hashtag bozo. Hashtag trainers over baby daddies. The virtue of patience will always conquer the eagerness of an imbecile. I'll let them rock out with that. How you get mad at me for throwing rocks in my house and you mad because I got 3 layers of glass on my windows, and just because the first layer presumed to be cracked and shattered, you had no idea it was 2 more layers behind that and it was never cracked. But yet I come out and shake your hand and say, hey, we're gonna let bygones be bygones, and for some reason you bring me to your real house and then you wake up one day and the whole house. You mad at me? You tried to crack my windows, my nigga. You never even fixed my windows and repaired them. Oh, I'm lying. I did get a few dollars out of you. You ain't getting nothing out of me. But some spectacles. Letting you on the clubhouse floor and letting you sit in front of a podcast microphone and letting you cut your own throat. And letting you cut your own throat. And letting you cut your own throat.
I thought Porky said he genuinely wanted to help Luce. But now we're finding out he's been holding a grudge this whole time. Ever since Lucy dropped that diss track back in 2021. The one that Porky said was a play. The one he said him and Luce tricked the streets with.
I didn't do it. You did it. I just detected your eagerness for attention. And I played on it. Hey, I may have exploited, I may have assisted you in exploiting yourself, but I didn't give you a script. Hey, I just kind of rolled the dice and I hit my number. You can't be mad at me about your plot and you counter plotting yourself through your own actions. You cannot be mad at me for knowing how to get all the colors together on the Rubik's Cube. Some of you youngsters may not know what I'm talking about. Some people in there may know what I'm talking about. Don't get mad at me because I can make all the yellows, reds, greens. Don't get mad at me. Well, Wack, why didn't you tell me you were still upset? Because I'm not an emotional guy. I'm not supposed to tell you that. Well, Wack, why didn't you tell me you were still upset? Because I'm not an emotional guy. I'm not supposed to tell you that.
According to Porky, he's been mad at Luce ever since that diss track dropped. The same diss track Porky admits he told him to make. Sounds like the setup was built in from the start.
That is the fuel. You doing what you saying was the action. Me being upset about what you saying was the fuel. I don't show that. I just simply let it burn in a way that I do something about it. On some real shit, right? But I think the whole time, and especially after listening to Gigi, right? I think the whole time, because she said Wack, I used to lay on the side of him when him and the fake manager dude, she said his name, came up with the idea, attack Wack to try to get some attention on you, and you wouldn't pay him no attention.
Hence the diss track that he made. Hence the diss track that he made. Hence the diss track that he made.
Adam22 is asking about the diss record, because Adam remembers Porky telling him that he told Luce to do it. Adam didn't believe the story when Porky said it, but Porky insisted that he told Luce to do it.
Out, you know what I'm saying?
No, I think you're riding out for your homie.
Loose cannon?
That you guys
That's nephew.
You guys are doing a little bit of shady business together.
Not shady. Might be, me and Loose Cannon been comrades for quite some time. We fooled the streets.
What about those
Did you hear the Loose Cannon diss song on me?
Yeah, and I feel like you're lying when you say that it was all premeditated and planned out.
It was. He told me that's what he wanted to do. I told him do it. He told me that's what he wanted to do. I told him do it. He told me that's what he wanted to do. I told him do it. And she said it would drive him crazy. She said, so when I looked up and saw him on the side of you, I said, oh my God, he found a way to get to him, right? But what was crazy is he got to me the right way. But
link up with you against a mutual op.
No, that wasn't my thing at all. See, when he called me, I asked him. I said, "You f with Big U?" And he said, "Nah, I did, but I don't know more." So I asked him what happened. Cool. Why? Because if you f with Big U, like if Big U knows somebody f with me, he ain't finna let him in his space like that, right? Because you don't know what that is. Right? Nigga might be a suicide bomber, detonate you and him. You never know what that is, right? So when he propositioned me to help him promote his show, I'm promoting his show. I had no idea about some of the shit he was gonna say. And as I'm listening to him, I don't know if he running his play.
What's up, brother?
Right? I don't know if he's running his play. I don't know what he's doing.
Porky is sitting here lying, as always. He wasn't just some bystander. Porky was Lucy's handler. He knew exactly what Lucy was going to say. He even admitted that the information was too hot for him to present, so he brought Lucy to No Jumper to say it himself. But now Porky's acting like he had no idea what Lucy was going to say on that platform.
Now that we know so much more about Loose Cannon, doesn't it seem exceedingly unlikely that Big U actually placed this phone call about Nipsey right before Nipsey died?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why I believed him at the time. And today, on my way here, Gigi told me some shit that changed that. Okay. Cease and desist come to you, right? Yeah. At the same time, he tells me Urban Flicks gets a cease and desist.
Porky lies so much it's almost routine at this point. He's sitting there lying to Adam again, and Adam's just letting it happen. Porky told Adam that he received a cease and desist from Big U at the same time Lucy did. That's a lie, and both of them know it. The truth is, Lucy was supposed to release his Urban Flicks video on February 14th. But on February 2nd, he suddenly popped up with a fake cease and desist, conveniently stopping him from showing the world the clip of Big U allegedly predicting Nipsey's death. Adam, on the other hand, didn't receive a cease and desist until nearly a month later. This is just Porky doing what he always does, trying to cover up one lie with another.
So I'm like, okay, cease and desist go to Adam to pull him down, talking about it. Then Urban Flicks gets one so they won't put it in the thing, right? So when I tell Gigi this, because Gigi said, well, why did you believe it? And I told her this, right? And she said, no, Wack, Urban Flicks did get a cease and desist. But it was from me, not Big U.
Oh.
So they got a cease and desist. He just tell me it's from Big U. So my ideology is like, if Adam got one to pull that down and Urban Flicks got one to not to play it, it must exist. It must be there. So I said, well, Gigi, what kind of cease and desist did you serve Urban Flicks? She said all the footage with Black China, all the footage that was shot in our home in Riverside or wherever they live, right? I called the cameraman. The cameraman said Loose Cannon never paid him. So I, in fact, paid the cameraman and brought all the footage. I then serviced Urban Flicks and said, if any of this footage is in this show, I'm going to sue you. I own it. So, yeah, it was a cease and desist there, but the whole time I'm thinking, Big U served Urban Flicks to cease and desist. See what you getting one and them getting one. See what you getting one and them getting one.
Porky keeps trying to push this false narrative that Adam 22 received a cease and desist either before or at the same time as Lucy. But he's lying, plain and simple. The truth is, Lucy pulled out that fake cease and desist on February 2nd, 12 days before he was supposed to drop the Urban Flicks video on February 14th. Adam didn't get his cease and desist until nearly a month later. Porky knows this, but he's trying to rewrite the timeline to cover up yet another one of his lies.
See, with you getting one and them getting one, I'm like, okay, he don't want Luce talking about it, and he don't want them putting it up. But come to find out, the cease and desist that went to Urban Flicks was from Gigi. Had nothing to do with Big U. Had nothing to do with Big U. Had nothing to do with Big U.
So Porky just admitted to everyone that Loose Cannon was lying about the cease and desist he claimed Big U sent him. But here's the real question. If it was Gigi who actually sent the cease and desist, then where did Porky get the one he read out loud on Clubhouse? The one he claimed came from Big U. Think about that as you get ready to hear the audio in just a minute.
So Big U cease and desist that he served you was really in the right lane because he's saying it's a lie. If he's saying it's a lie, then it's defamation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Big U cease and desist that he served you was really in the right lane because he's saying it's a lie. If he's saying it's a lie, then it's defamation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like that, Porky finally admits that Big U never sent Loose Cannon a cease and desist. Now he's backpedaling, claiming Big U was actually in the right for sending one to Adam and No Jumper, because, according to him, Lucy's statements during that interview were slanderous, defamatory lies. Mind you, this is the same interview where Porky was sitting right next to Lucy, co-signing everything he said. Now he's pretending he had no idea what was coming and trying to wash his hands of it.
So Big U cease and desist that he served you was really in the right lane because he's saying it's a lie. If he's saying it's a lie, then it's defamation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So once she told me this shit today, I'm like, oh shit. She said, yeah, Wack. I said, yeah, I thought he said, no, that's what he told y'all because it fit.
This moment right here proves what many of us already knew. Porky has no integrity and absolutely zero credibility. So let's rewind the clock and listen to Porky as he defamed, slandered, and outright lied on Big U, supporting Lucy's lie about a cease and desist. So Porky already admitted that Lucy never received a cease and desist from Big U. It actually came from Gigi, according to him. So where did the fake cease and desist that Porky read on Clubhouse come from? Remember, everything you're going to hear Porky say next was a lie, and he just went in front of Arian Adam and admitted that. This is COINTELPRO at its finest.
Yo, man, so you know how his bozo been saying, they all been saying Loose Cannon lying, right?
Yup.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Oh, we got content.
Please, you looking at it. Okay, so if Loose Cannon is lying, February 2nd, 2024, Tremaine William, a.k.a. Loose Cannon, right? Dear Mr. Williams, the law firm represents Mr. Eugene Henley. We are contacting you regarding your publication and unintended publication of certain audio and or audio-visual recordings featuring Henley, collectively the footage. You are hereby directed to cease and desist any and all use of the footage in any manner, including without limitation to use of Henley's voice, image, likeness, and reference to his personal or professional business, collectively NIL, right? This demand includes posting the footage or the NIL on social media and featuring and foregoing in any film, television, programming and streaming. Nigga, if it never happened, why the fuck you got your attorney
Hold on, I
service?
got one better than
Oh
you.
shit, I'm looking at I'm reading it. Hold on, I'm reading it.
Hold on,
Oh shit.
Nah, hold on, bro.
Hold on, Todd.
It ain't even gotta go. If it never happened, why would you serve if you never said these things?
A cease and desist.
FaceTime, it never happened. Why do you have your attorney serving loose cannon a cease and desist about it? Haley refused to sign a contract to allow you to use the footage. And any programmer stands firm in refusal. Listen, look, bro. This nigga.
That's crazy.
He just admitted to work.
Bro, hey, bro, this is real shit. You will never, and I'm going to say this, because I'm going to use myself. You will never see me serve Mika paperwork saying you can't put out the footage of you putting fingers in my ass. You know why? Because it never happened.
Never happened. Never didn't exist. Why even
Never exist. So if you know it don't exist, nigga, why you serving a nigga?
That's a fact. That's confirmation.
Hey, yo.
So I know T-Money, you like to talk your
That's
shit.
confirmation.
He put name, image, and
I
likeness.
used to be his brain, bro. That dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that was a bozo.
That's a bozo number 8. That's a bozo number 8.
Nigga getting spanked with facts all year.
And let me tell you what spooked him. Hold on, bro. I wasn't gonna do this. This just 2 days ago. Loose Cannon said that nigga don't want to have no conversation with me. Cuz don't want to fuck with me. He won't even get on the phone. Watch this, Wack. Watch this. Who in here got who in here got audio? Eric in here? Who in here? Josh?
We got a couple of them in here. Yep.
It's me.
Josh in here?
That's Eric. That's Eric Wack.
Eric?
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Nah.
Okay, hold on. Oh, you said Eric in here.
Yeah, Eric in here.
Eric started at 1 minute. I don't want to dox it. I was giving Cannon his phone number. Started at 1 minute. I was giving Cannon his phone number. I don't want to dox his phone number. He probably can't handle that. Everybody ain't a whack. But this is the other day. I said, yo, you know the nigga calling around with your ex-wife? He said, man, my motherfucking ex-wife, I ain't fuck with that bitch. And you. He said, oh, I'm gonna call her right now. He said, now, if one of your homeboys was doing what I was doing to you, you gonna holler at him. I said, for sure. He said, watch this. I picked up. Who was this? And he started telling him, hey, look, check this out. Nick Loose Cannon. I just hung the phone up quick.
That's crazy.
All right, you ready? Yeah, let's go.
Big U.
Real
This Cannon. Like all those games that you playing, bro, with lying ass GG and stuff. Oh, bitch ass, hang up the phone. He hung up the phone. Right? I'm telling you, cuz no.
Yo.
Big U, bitch.
Do you see now how the disinformation campaign really works? Porky's Clubhouse clergy aren't just a bunch of loud, low-budget cheerleaders. They're tools. Carefully placed pieces in a bigger strategy to echo his lies, amplify his slander, and reinforce the false narratives he wants you to believe. This isn't random. It's coordinated. And it's calculated.
I heard through the grapevine that there might be a case that you are working on exposing that involves Loose Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
Can you give me a preliminary briefing on what this is about?
Nah, the thing is, man, it's like some defamation stuff. You know, I want to speak on it so everything is actually done with. You know, I got some very, very nice paid attorneys handling everything for me. So, you know, but real soon, probably next week, we'll hear something. I just don't want to speak on it yet.
Okay.
That's why.
Got it.
Why I didn't say nothing, because it's his content.
Wack said that he don't want to talk about it either. Okay, well, because I went to your channel, I was looking for the YouTube video about it. I didn't see anything, but a few people know about it.
What video? What video?
No, I went to your channel looking for a video about it because somebody told me that you were working on something, and I didn't see anything. So I assume it's still in the works.
Well, see, what I do is I give out little signals at the end of my videos, so you can't just look at the title or watch the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So people who told you about it, they're either watching my live or watching some of my long videos.
Got it. Okay. Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, let's get it, man.
I mean, you took Big U down, and I guess Loose Cannon's next, huh? You're gonna get
nigga crazy.
Everybody getting 600 years.
Why y'all saying like?
Well,
this thing. As far as me taking Big U down, me and Wack took his name down.